Welcome to On the Spot, Hip Hop Week. I'm your host, Aubrey Beatsuraw. In today's episode, we will discuss hip hop. We feel the music, dance to the beat, and rap the lyrics, but is hip hop something we do or something we live? Let's ask a few hip hop students what hip hop means to them. What's up, man? How you doing? What's your name?
How you doing, Mr. B2 Raw?
B2 Raw, that's me. So can you tell us, what does hip hop mean to you?
Hip hop is a revolution that changed the world, man. You know, it empowered the black community to have a voice, and people paid attention, and America will never be the same, and it's a good thing.
That's what's up.
It's for me, it's therapy.
Right on. Do you remember one of the first hip hop songs you ever heard and liked?
I'd say probably the first hip hop album. You know, I'm old school, so we actually paid attention to full albums.
Okay, I feel
was Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style, and I think that was '91.
I got you.
Yeah, I was a little 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid rapping gangster rap, scaring my parents.
So with that being said, who are your top 3 favorite hip hop artists?
I'd say probably my number 1 is this guy right here, Mr. MF Doom. Know if you see this cat.
On the cap.
MF Doom from Brooklyn, BK representing. I'm not from there, but he's number 1 in my book. Necro is probably number 2 lyric-wise. He's also from BK, and Tupac by far is up there as well.
Okay, I feel you. Pac is for the culture.
Oh man, legendary, yeah.
Right on. Has hip hop impacted your life, and if so, tell us.
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, my life is hip hop, basically. My love of music comes from hip hop. You know, if it wasn't for all the music that they sampled, my eyes wouldn't have been open to so much funk and soul and jazz, and then eventually electronic music, and every aspect of my life is influenced from hip hop music.
Hip hop kind of started, and you just branched off from there.
Oh yeah, exactly. And hip hop will never die in my eyes. I'm a DJ now, and I work in the music industry, and all that comes from my love of hip hop music.
I got to get you to DJ one of my parties for the
Let's do it, man.
So a culture is defined as the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievements regarded collectively. What would make you consider hip-hop a culture?
I mean, it took over every aspect of human life. I mean, you've got the graffiti side, which is the artistic side. You've got dance, which is the self-expression with your body, the lyrics, poetry, that sort of stuff, the DJing, all that, party moving. I mean, you name it, hip-hop has influenced every aspect of our culture.
I feel you on that one. Hip-hop, in its truest form, is artistic, like you said, and it's a response to oppression. Do you think the message of hip-hop has changed? If so, why?
I mean, it's definitely changed. I'm not going to say that it's changed to the negative. I mean, when I grew up, it was all about gangster rap. So you can't really complain that hip-hop has changed to a more party vibe, because nobody wants their friends to be killed, you know, but people were speaking on what was going on in the early 90s, and it was a really messed up time. So even though the lyrics of hip-hop might not be as political as it once was, it still represents the culture that's going on now. So that's not necessarily a negative thing. I mean, I enjoy lyrics and I like a deeper message, but the youth of today, you can't complain that there's not as much that they need to worry about. So I don't really see it as being a bad thing.
Right, I feel you on that one. So thank you for coming through today, man. And that's about all the time we got. And this has been the On the Spot Hip Hop Week. We out.
Thanks, Aubrey, for asking the people about hip-hop. My name is Sonny, and I'm a student of hip-hop. Let's learn together. In its truest form, hip-hop is artistic expression in response to oppression. It is being aware of your movements. It is consciousness. Where there is consciousness, there is life. Hip-hop is life. All life is made up of elements. It's much more than music. There are 9 elements in hip-hop: breaking, MCing, DJing, graffiti art or aerosol art, beatboxing, street fashion, street language.
Hey yo, homie, let me kill this 40 right quick, and then we can get to going dumb at the dude Huckleberry's crib. I heard he's down for yoking his 6'4" all up and down Richmond. Plus, I bet he know where the Ripper's at tonight. You know what I mean?
Hey pal, please allow me to drink this beverage and then we can have fun at Huckleberry's residence. I heard he would find enjoyment cruising in his car from 1964 around in Richmond. Plus, he knows where to locate the less reputable female characters tonight. Do you know what I'm saying?
Street knowledge, and street entrepreneurialism. This week, we will focus on the first four, also known as the core elements: breaking, MCing, graffiti or aerosol art, and DJing. Before we explore the culture, we should pay homage or tribute to the originators, the legends of hip-hop. Without these committed souls who pioneered or innovated hip-hop, less people would be empowered and many would be without a voice. In hip-hop culture, they are considered our ancestors. Such hip-hoppers include DJ Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, KRS-One, DJ Grand Wizard Theodore, Coke La Rock, Melly Mel, Queen Lisa Lee, Grandmaster Flash, MC Light, Sugar Hill Gang, Curtis Blow, Big Daddy Kane, Guru, and Rakim. Breaking is the study and application of street dance forms. Breaking is commonly called break dancing or b-boying. The practitioners of such traditional breaking are called b-boys, b-girls, and breakers. Break moves are also used in aerobics and other exercises that refine the body and relieve stress. Breaking gets your heart pumping at about 120 beats per minute, and if we break or dance at least 20 minutes 3 times a week, we have enhanced our physical health and prolonged our lives by years. Thank you, hip-hop. Breakdancing earns respect amongst crews in substitution of violence. Before we get into the second element, MCing, let's check out another interview with Aubrey.
All right, so we back with our next guest. Tell the people your name, man.
I'm MBZ, the original OG.
Okay, MBZ is the OG.
That's right.
So, MBZ,
What's happening?
what does hip hop mean to you?
Hip hop is social culture, man. It's a change. You know, it's values, it's ethics. It's the beginning of the beginning for the people in the community who struggled, you know, had issues.
Right
Put it
on.
out there.
Put it out.
You feel me?
No doubt, no
We
doubt.
had something to do.
All right. Do you remember the first hip hop song you ever heard and liked?
Public Enemy. Fight the power.
What was the name of the song?
Fight the power.
Okay.
Fight the powers that be.
You
Yeah.
still bumping it today?
That's every day.
Every day,
Every
all
day
right.
when I get up.
So who are your top 3 favorite hip hop artists?
Public Enemy. Fight the power.
Okay.
Fight the powers
Let me
that
get
be.
2 more.
Queen Latifah. Cause she spoke about UNITY. UNITY. Don't sing the song with me.
Got you.
That's an OG song.
Okay.
All right.
OG
UNITY was
And let me get one more.
I'm Tupac. Brenda's Got a Baby.
Has hip hop impacted your life in any way?
Of course it has.
Okay, tell me how.
Of course it has. Man, look, when we was coming up, man, we cared about our community and the way things went. And we talked about things, man. We had trust in the community, and we had no anger for each other. We had to push it out. So Public Enemy pushed it out. They told you. They said, look, fight the power. Don't fight yourself.
Okay.
Fight the power. All right, we talking about fighting the powers that be.
That leads into my next question. So culture is defined as the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievements regarded collectively. So what would you consider about hip hop that is so cultural?
It has meaning and it has purpose. And an art is defined by the person who perceives the art.
Okay.
So if you look at a painting, if you look at something on a wall, You may think it's art. I mean, I think it's art. Feel me?
It's how you feel on the inside. So hip hop in its truest form is artistic, and it's a response to oppression.
Yes.
Do you think the message of hip hop has changed, and why?
Yes. We used to talk about what happens to make us better. Now we talk about what happens to make us worse.
All right.
That's what I got.
So that's it for us today with Mike. Thank you for coming, MBZ.
Fight the power.
We out.
Thanks, Aubrey and MBZ. Fighting the power is no easy thing to do, but being an MC can sure make it easier. Our second element, MCing, is the study and application of rhythmic talk, poetry, and divine speech. The MC is a hip-hop poet who directs and moves the crowd by rhythmically rhyming in spoken word. The MC is a cultural spokesperson. The word MC comes from the abbreviated form of Master of Ceremonies. Technically, the MC is a creation of one's community, whereas the rapper is a creation of corporate interests. Bling bling. The MC expresses through rhyme what is already on your mind, whereas the rapper tells you about his or herself, how cool his car is, and how many TVs are in the rims.
I am power. I see prophecies to fruition every hour, cause I am power. I am power. I am power. I am power. I see prophecies to fruition every hour, cause I am power. 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 I see prophecies to fruition every hour, cause I am power. I am power. I am power. I am power. I see prophecies to fruition every hour, cause I am power. I am power.
Freestyling is when rhymes are unwritten and performed raw, right off the top of the head. From the Justice Arts Collective, we have MCs Tommy and Joanne going back to back in bursts of energy created by their freestyle session.
Time to freestyle. I keep it spinning like the sun around the earth. It's a freestyle right off the top of the head. Time to spin a little web like a spider. Let my vision get a little wider. Peace to the water protectors and all of you at the intersection. Loving the rhythm and we love the reflection. In deep meditation we strive for ascension. It's the freestyle off of the dome. Chabot making all of our home a sanctuary where we can come, feel connection. Rock the rhythm in the moon's reflection. We connected to all that is. We rock our bliss. We unravel the fist and let the pedal settle. We cock it over the rebel. I'm just a pebble dropped inside a lake. On my level, dig a little deeper, just have a little trouble. Putting words together, all kind of clever. And when you step to it, you get curved, you get severed. Any weatherman, the words to perform. I ride the microphone, I've never been known as a norm. I always been a little bit excellent, a little bit extravagant, a little bit here and there, but I don't care. Hey, I have people laughing at me, have people sitting there tripping off what I be and how I see and what I do and how I move when I'm standing right here and I never ever lose up. I learned lessons, no question, no second guessing. It's a blessing, so sit back and listen. I'm on a mission just to try to continue. Grab the microphone and educate you. I've been through. Go.
Our next element, graffiti, is the study and application of street calligraphy, art, and handwriting. Commonly called aerosol art, writing, piecing, burning, graph and urban murals, other forms of this art include bombing and tagging. Its practitioners are known as writers, bombers, graffiti writers, aerosol artists, graffitiists, and graffiti artists. Graffiti nowadays in some forms are encouraged and applied by cities to beautify boring parts of the city like underpasses and utility boxes. We've got artist Rob Knox. He is going to tell us about graffiti and other art which is inspired by his experience with aerosol.
What's good, Senor Pimpin'? Thanks for having me over. Let me come over, take off my shoes and stuff. So, thanks for being part of the show. do you consider yourself a graffiti artist?
I haven't considered myself a graffiti artist since I was 16 years old.
And what makes the difference for you?
It was the fact that I had a little crew I was running with. Like, I knew what I was getting into, like, you know, doing it vandalism wise, but it's not like I was doing, like, you know, these weak throw ups and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was adding in some style, some flavor.
What kind of art do you work on now?
I work on mostly anything that's art, to be real. And like art wise, that's from like just illustration. Let's say architecture or even music. It's like my art's never limited.
If there was a 40-foot wall for you to paint on and there would be no consequences, what would you paint?
The truth.
All right, man. Thanks for having me over. All right, man.
Well, I'm gonna need you to put your shoes on and
sorry
kick
about
rocks
that.
and bottle tops.
Oh, God.
You have to kick rocks and bottle tops.
Graffiti is the most ancient art. A hand stencil over 30,000 years ago was found in common-day France. Graffiti is also the most natural way to write. When given a pen or a pencil, a child will naturally write on the walls. Let's take a quick break from the elements and check out another interview with Aubrey B2 Raw.
We back with our next guest. Tell the people your name, bud.
It's Tim True G.
Tim True G, the truest G on the land.
Yeah.
So tell us, what does hip hop mean to you, man?
Everything and nothing at all. It ranges from emotionally getting you through your day to wasting your time.
Man, that's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember one of the first hip hop songs you ever heard and liked?
That was a long time ago.
Speak on it.
The first hip hop song I liked, I don't even halfway remember it. I think it was a Tone Loc song. Yeah. I can't even think of the name of the song right now, but I believe that was the first one.
Okay.
The old school Walkman with the sports thing that wrapped over the top. You know what I'm saying? You could throw it down the street, it still work.
I wasn't there, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, has hip hop impacted your life in any way, and if so, how?
It's definitely got me through some tough times. It's put a spotlight on some messed up things that's happened in our lives culturally.
Right.
And it's definitely been a voice for the people who hasn't really had one.
So it's always been a positive and what might have been a negative.
As far as I can see.
I feel you on that. So, speaking of culture, culture is defined as the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. What would you consider like about hip hop that makes it cultural?
Everything about hip hop is cultural, from the way they define their terminology, or we define our terminology, to the way they walk, dress, talk. Like, it's just, you know, somebody who's been influenced by hip hop just by when you first see them or meet them, or you don't even have to talk to them. You can just see by the way they get down that they've had some kind of impact on their life by the hip hop influence.
You can just feel the vibe on them. I feel you on that. So hip hop in its truest form is artistic. So kind of what you was talking about, maybe how people dress, how they act.
No doubt.
So do you think the message of hip hop has changed in any way?
Not necessarily. I just think that the mainstream has changed the allowance of what message everyone gets to hear. So it seems as if the tone of what's right and injustice isn't being heard as loud as it used to be.
Right.
But it's still there.
I feel you on that. So that's about all the time we got today. Thank you for coming through, my man Tim.
Yeah.
And we out.
Thanks, Aubrey and Tim True G. Now let's get into the fourth element, DJing. DJing is the study and application of rap music production, cutting, mixing, and scratching, as well as on-air radio broadcasting. Originally presented by two turntables, first designed by Edward P. Casey of the Bronx in 1955 and connected to a mixer with a crossfader, first designed by Grandmaster Flash in 1976. Hip-hop's DJs used the turntable and mixer as instruments that manipulated the playing of vinyl records. We got to see DJ Tussie in action. A great DJ reads his or her crowd, playing the music that they will enjoy. I don't think the crowd would react this way if they were playing something like this.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
Please got to mess with me, so I suggest you just don't mess with me. Look me cool with you on the squad.
I want to give a big shout out to DJ Tussie taking the time to sit down with an interview with us. Check it out.
So what's good, DJ Tussie?
What's up, man?
How you been?
Good, chilling.
So how did you earn the name DJ Tussie?
My mom gave me that name, and I wasn't creative enough to come up with a DJ name. Actually, no, okay, I was. My first DJ name was Mixin' and Squatchin'.
Ooh.
I was like 12, and I was like, I'm mixing and I'm squatching. Mixing and squatching. So then I just stopped being creative. It was like, my name is unique.
Okay, yeah, definitely it is. Well, so when, like, she named you DJ Tussie, or she just named you Tussie?
No, she named me Tussie. Yeah, so I stuck with that.
How long have you been DJing for?
20 years.
20 years?
20 years. Yeah.
Do you remember your first gig?
Hell no. Not at all. I don't remember a gig I had last week. I don't know. I do so many gigs, so I can't even remember. Okay, one memorable gig. It was crazy lit. It was in a house. It was his house in the garage. It was smacking, and he paid me, I think, like $150.
Okay.
And then every hour he wanted me to stay. He didn't have any money, so he just kept handing me treat.
Okay.
And he was like, "Here, I got an egg for you." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll play for another hour." And then, I'll play for another hour, and then I think I had like, I don't know. In 1 week, I've done 14 gigs.
That's your high score right now?
No, that's not. I was just counting. I don't even know what my high score is.
Oh.
I'm not even keeping score, man. I'm just
as long as you keeping track of those invoices.
As long as I'm scoring, that's all that matters. Yeah.
That's what's up. I mean, how did you? Because I mean, a lot of people like DJing, a lot of people like rapping, a lot of people like different elements of hip hop. How did you make it to where that's, you know what I mean? That's, you don't have to worry about going to a job and then coming back and learning how to DJ. Like, you know what I mean? How did you make it to where you just DJ and have fun all the time?
I worked my ass off. I did this thing where I was making a mixtape like every week. I was putting up posters and flyers everywhere. I had posters on like freeway exits. Whenever I introduce myself to people, I introduce myself as DJ Tussie. So it's like you have to live it. Like if you're not living it, then you're not gonna actually become it.
You had your own venue, you had your own show. What would you be playing for your audience?
It wouldn't be one because I'm so different. Like even my culture, I'm Black and Samoan. So I love reggae, I love island music, but then I love like hyphy music. So it'd probably be like hyphy ass reggae. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So yeah, that would be like my
Cool, that's what's up. Looking forward to the Tussie Festival.
For sure.
Tussie Mente. Thanks for coming through.
Right on. All right, man.
When I think of hip hop, the music is only a gateway to the rest of the culture.
Feel the touch, now she blush. Hear that sonic rush.
Rapping on the microphone, have the whole spirit broken from open. Grab your microphone and spit it open, you know it.
It's your birthright to shine like the rising sun.
Remember, rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live.
I see prophecies to fruition every hour, cause I am power.
Before we go, there are 5 other elements: beatboxing, street fashion, street language, street knowledge, and street entrepreneurialism, which we will get into in our next episode of On the Spot Hip Hop Week. Thanks for watching, and much love to y'all.